Greetings! You're watching Septum Sen vs. the World. I'm Septum Sen, and I'm here with Kotobuki J.
Hi.
I have...
And Christmas tree.
Yes, I've decorated for the holidays. And I have Agent Christmas Tree right here from the, Demon Hunters series. Yeah, there was a character in Demon Hunters that was a Christmas tree. Yes. And this time we're here to inform you about the releases, not for 121, for December 5th, and a couple that are December 8th releases. I went ahead and
didn't see
added
anything
those.
for that.
There were a couple at the very end of the right stuff that
okay.
were December 8th.
Of course there were.
So I figured that should just go on this one.
Hmm.
So I will let you start off this time.
All right. And pardon me, I'm enjoying some smochi, so... okay, so we're starting off with the next installment of his favorite show ever. One Piece. We are up to Collection 21, which is episodes 493 to 516. Yes, we have hit the 500 mark.
Woo!
The story of Luffy and Ace's past is revealed. I put the pause at the wrong part there. Years later, after the tragedy at Marineford, Luffy questions his ability to become the king of the pirates and must choose between reuniting with his crew or joining Dark King Rayleigh, however they say that, in training. Well, of course we know shonen series are all about training, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does that for a short while. But I have not seen anywhere near this far in the series. It's one of the shows that I think I've mentioned before. One Piece is a behemoth. It's a huge series. It's fun. It's really fun. It's but it is not the greatest show on earth, which I know one reason why you're against it is he had friends who were talking it up big time. I kind of escaped most of that hype. I still have got a little bit of it. It is a really fun show. Unfortunately, if most of this arc takes place without the Straw Hat crew, I can tell you I'll have a lot less interest in it.
Yeah.
Because my favorite characters are some of the co-stars, Nami and Brook, and some of them. I'm not as big a fan of Luffy himself, although he's, fun. He's a fun character. He's a pretty interesting protagonist, but no, he hates Luffy.
Well,
but you might know more on this arc than I do. I don't know.
I know a little bit more. I did read the manga for a while, and spoilers. So for those of you who don't like spoilers, just skip ahead like 10 seconds or so. Ace has died. He was executed, and this is probably a reflection of this. This takes place after an extremely long prison arc where it's just Luffy and Bon Clay going through a prison system and trying to break Ace out. And I've stopped my collection at 14. I actually have through 20, but I stopped watching it after 14. This one, because of my money issues, unless it goes on sale, it's probably going to go unbought for a while. And then, occasionally I'll be buying one thing, maybe a month or so, to try and keep up with some of these things. And it'll probably be something like this. It'll actually be a shame if I'm using like my one purchase a month on that. So next up is Mob Psycho 100. It's a 12-episode series from Funimation. Mob is an 8th grader with powerful psychic abilities who wants to be normal. When not exercising evil spirits, he attempts to suppress his powers, causing stunted emotions. But when he hits 100%, his pent-up feelings unleash a dark power. I don't know much about this. Have you heard anything about this one?
I have. And for the life of me, I'm trying to remember what the other series was. I was reading about this in conjunction with another series. Apparently the director is well known for making weird shows.
Well, we'll see.
And this is supposed to be a weird show. It's supposed to be really good. It's very highly rated on Anime News Network. It has a good reputation. I'm very curious about it, but one day.
Well, Mob Psycho 100 puts forth a very different image than what it actually is about.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
I originally thought it was something about like the Mafia or something like
Well, exactly.
that. You know?
Maybe it's like Hitman Reborn finally getting released in the United States.
That deserves a release eventually. That's one I've been forgetting to put on my list.
No,
Anyway,
the manga's out, but not the anime.
So the next one up is another Funimation release. They've got a pretty big release this week, and it's a mixed bag. Let me tell you, the last one definitely, but this one I was surprised to learn that Funimation was continuing the American release for the Love Live franchise. The first series, Love Live School Idol Project, is a 2-season series with a movie. We've mentioned it on this channel before. I picked up the first series after it went out of print. I found a decent price on eBay, but paid more than I would have if I'd ordered it originally. My pre-order on the second was canceled, so I still don't have the second season because that premium set's way out of print. But the first series, I watched one day where I was sick and it was rainy, and I started watching it, and I watched the whole show in one sitting. It was addictive. It was so fun. It was just a light, fun, frothy, it's an idol series about these girls who are trying to save their school by forming an idol group, Muse. Sunshine is a spin-off of this. It's different characters, different school. I have not gotten to see Sunshine, so I'm not sure exactly where it falls story-wise or whatnot in terms of similarities and differences. I know the art style is very similar. I know it's still real heavy on the J-pop and all that kind of stuff. And the music from the first series is pretty good.
That's
So,
That's good. You don't want it to be bad.
you definitely want that to be good. And it is a beautifully animated show. The first series had a lot of these shows get a little bit of flack for the way CG is not always cleanly incorporated. And that was the case of the first series. It was accused of too much CG during the dance sequences. I don't know if Sunshine has that same rep, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's similar, because it's the same production company. But it's a really fun show. The group in this one is called Acors, I think it is. It's or Acors, or I don't know how they pronounce it.
Light.
No, not quite like that. But like I said, I was surprised to find out Funimation continued the release. It continues to sadden me that NIS seems to have backed off from the anime game.
Yeah.
I am hoping perhaps this will mean that Funimation will eventually put out the first series. If they do, it'll be much more affordable and easier for everyone to get, and that'd be cool.
Aniplex will get it.
Well, I mean, again, the fact that Funimation has part of it, maybe. Aniplex has enough.
Too much.
It's too much.
Though they do have a rather good showing on the sale this time around.
I know. And we will see this on the other video where we do our pickup video tonight.
Yep.
I have already gotten my first Aniplex title because it was finally almost affordable.
Mine's all Black Friday
Anyway.
haul.
Yeah. So anyway, on to the next.
Alright. So we've got this one called Taboo Tattoo. Another 12-episode Funimation one. Nothing burns hotter in the heart of Justice Akatsuka than the desire to do the right thing. When he's stuck with a tattoo that holds an incredible power, he's dragged into an international conspiracy that pushes him beyond the limits of the right and wrong. Interesting enough. I mean, actually, I was just watching Anime Abandon, and he was doing one called Judge, which is a horror anime that's similar, about somebody who judges about an evil thing that like sort of judges you in the afterlife. And this one kind of reminds me of that. Could be a shonen series. I don't know anything more about that. Your thoughts?
I looked it up. It does not have a high rating on ANN. To be honest, it doesn't have too much interest for me. But
that's all right. Bobobo is one of my favorite series, and it has a crap rating on ANN.
And I'm not that big a fan of Bobobo.
Yeah, well,
it's really weird. I love weird.
Well, and Bobobo is definitely weird.
Bobobo's not my cup of weird. Although the fist to the nose hair idea is pretty good. I like that. Anyway, Phil.
He's like, I'm too high up.
There you go, Foo. Next up, we have the new release in the Digimon Adventure Tri series. Apparently, there's a series of 6 movies. Yeah. I think 5 have been released. 1 more is coming out. This is movie number 3. And you don't have the title listed.
Well,
what was the title? It was, it started with a C.
Yeah, well,
Jesus.
Just say Try Movie 3.
It's Digimon Adventure Tri Movie 3. I think it's called Confrontations. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with that. Infected Digimons continue to threaten the human world and the digital world.
Uh-oh.
There is also a new threat when a mysterious message appears one night over all electrical devices stating that the Digimon will be released again, which creates mass panic. There is one possible solution, triggering a reboot which would reset the digital world. But the reset comes at a high price, as the Digimons would lose all memories of their human companions. This sounds like a pretty interesting setup there. I think we've talked before about one of the previous Digimon releases, and I think we pointed out that I don't know this set. I don't know this series. I know of it, but I feel like this is one of those ones that's it's aimed at a younger audience, and I missed that window really. But it's maybe one I'll see one of these days. And this is a Shout Factory release.
Yeah.
I'm still interested to see how far they go into the anime game.
They like they like a lot of the stuff that goes into the older children's shows.
Mm-hmm.
So the Pokemons, the Digimons, things like that. I was surprised when they picked up that one piece that they did. That actually did kind of take me aback.
What, the Endless Corner of the World?
Yeah. It did surprise me.
That was a nice surprise. I'll have to watch my set of that, or my movie very soon, and I'll let y'all know how that release looks.
But, I don't know anything about Digimon. I just know that there's a guy with goggles on his head, and there's a little orange T-Rex looking thing. Or maybe that was gone from another. I don't know.
I don't know, they all sound alike to me. Anyway.
all those little orange T-Rexes,
Speaking of shows that I kind of missed the original fad.
Well, actually, I really did like this, and believe it or not, I have watched up to set 3 before I stopped watching it as it was released, which is Sailor Moon Crystal set 3. This actually covers...
AKA Season 3.
Yeah, this covers the super arc, essentially, in the main series, where you've got the outer scouts, Uranus, and Neptune, and of course Pluto getting re-involved in the mix. And of course you've got the mysterious Saturn, which has her own reputation. To me, Sailor Moon really did improve. Crystal kinda sucked in the first season.
Yeah.
I mean, the art style was very much like the comic, very wispy, little lanky characters, but that to me seems to be a shoujo thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is about shoujo and lankiness, but they do love their lanky characters. And
but it doesn't always translate well to animation, and motion looks kind of wonky sometimes.
And the transformation scenes were kind of...
And I know you were one of the harsh critics on the use of CG in that series.
Yes, which is amazing because my outlook improved a lot after Season 2. Now this set goes 27 to 38, but really once they hit Season 2, which was the equivalent of R, I mean the quality just went way up. I was very very much surprised for the better. What I've seen of this season was really good, and I can't wait to get my copy. As a matter of fact, there are several things on this list that I have pre-orders that are going to come in.
Now, it's my understanding, according to A&N at any rate, the first 2 seasons of Crystal, of course, were O&A.
Mm-hmm.
But they list this series as TV. So if it actually went from being a web series to a TV series, that could help explain
It could have
the
upped the
uptick.
budget.
Yeah.
Also, season 2 probably got an influx of money from season 1.
Right.
So it'll
Now,
keep getting better as it goes on.
I have to admit, I've only seen the first part of Crystal, season 1. And season 1 was released over 2 seasons. They released it very, slowly. And they crammed all of Sailor Moon into 13 episodes. And they did it in such a way. This was my biggest, harshest criticism. Well, not just the occasional wonky appearance of things. I really, 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 really did not like how they stripped almost all the character development. Granted, a lot of the first series was filler. But a lot of that was character development. Was getting to know the characters. And my takeaway from the first season of Crystal was that Venus was about even. She was about the same amount of characterization she got in the first show. Queen Beryl got better characterization. Her lieutenants got better characterization.
Yeah.
But all the other major characters, Sailor Moon, all the other scouts, Tuxedo Mask, all got short shrifted.
I agree.
There was no characterization to speak of in that series. And I guess maybe they assumed everyone knew the first show, but you got to stand on your own. You know, you can't just assume things like that.
No one assumed you read the manga.
And at the time that I watched that, I was watching 6 shows. And that was the one I did not look forward to watching.
That's the one you dropped.
Well, I dropped a few because I don't do a lot of streaming. I just, in that one narrow window, I did a lot of streaming. But that was the same show time. The shows I was watching with that were, there was that one. It was Shirobako, which I loved. Phenomenal show. Cross Angie, Rondo of Angel and Dragon, which I enjoyed. I Can't Understand What My Husband Is Saying, which I love that one. Gonna Be the Twin Tail was actually much better than Sailor Moon Crystal. It was a lot of fun. And there was one more.
Well, 2 of those are on the Sentai sale.
Yeah. So, I think it was When Supernatural Battles Become Commonplace.
Okay, 3 of them.
I love that show, too. Yeah. So, Crystal just got short shrift on that. But anyway, on to the next.
This one.
Okay, he got me a prop for this one. He has a show here that I've never seen, and I don't know much about it. But the first of, I think, 2 movies are being released this week by Sentai. And this is the movie to Initial D, a popular, I'm pretty sure, shonen series from back in the day about drift racing. And apparently it was one of the things that helped put that whole idea on the map here in the West anyway.
The whole Fast and the Furious thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, they had that Tokyo Drift episode. It probably had a lot to do with this. But this movie is called Initial D Legend 1 Awakening. And in Initial D Legend 1 Awakening, when aspiring racer Koichiro Iketani witnesses an unplanned street duel between Keisuke Takahashi, a member of the rival race team, and a mysterious Toyota Sprinter Trueno AE86. Okay, I didn't realize I was going for a car there, or whatever the vehicle is. What are they using there? Whatever. Koichiro is totally blown away by the skill of the 86's driver. What Koichiro doesn't know is that the driver is fellow gas station attendant Takumi Fujiwara, who was making a late-night tofu delivery for his father, a legendary Mount Akina driver himself.
It looks like a retelling of the story.
Is it?
Man, that's what
Okay.
it sounds like.
That's not uncommon with these movies, so I'm not surprised about that. And that series came out, what, about 10, 15 years ago? Something like maybe a little longer.
Tokyo Pop was still releasing stuff. That's
Okay.
that tells you something right
So
there.
I want to say it was at least 10, probably 15 years ago. So these movies are quite recent, though. So they probably just figured, hey, it's time to cash in on an old nostalgic series by let's just retell the series. If anyone knows the series, by all means, comment and let us know that we're way off base here. But
Or at least
it's-
knows the movie.
Oh,
I
yeah,
know the
well, yeah,
series quite
exactly.
well.
Yeah.
I've seen the entire series, and
I'm vaguely interested, but to be honest, racing doesn't do it for me. So,
if you like Fast and the Furious, you the early Fast and the Furious, not the later off the wall crazy crap, but this stuff. To me, the art style kind of bothers me a little bit, but a decent enough series.
right.
I watched it,
Mm-hmm.
and it was decent.
Very good. Okay, so you mistyped this title, but
Well, man,
Hakkenden.
Hakkenden, 8 Dogs of the East.
Mm-hmm.
This is both series put into one,
Mm-hmm.
so 26 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So, strangely, even though they aren't brothers, Shino and Sosuke bear identical birthmarks. And when a fire destroyed their village, leaving the two of them and Hamaji as the only survivors, they are forced into the world. There they meet Genpachi and Koburongo.
Kombungo.
Okay, sorry, it's hard for me to read all this.
Yeah.
Two soldiers who have also the same birthmark and whose confrontations with demons have left them irrevocably changed. Now, however, they are on the run as the Imperial Church tries to capture Shino and take his mysterious powers for themselves. The unlikely quartet's only hope is to discover the secret behind the birthmarks, which will lead them to the 8 magical gems and their owners. Brothers in Arms unite as one of Japan's greatest works of literature is born again in the complete collection of Hakkenden, 8 Dogs of the East. So, I've heard of this series.
Mhm.
And it seems like a fairly standard trope of going back in time or working with Japanese history and superpowers.
Yeah, there you go.
Which
Yeah,
seems to be
it sounds like kind of maybe shades of Hoshiyugi or something along those lines, maybe. But
that's what it sounds like there. And there were a lot of... Actually, during that time of Shigeyugi, there were a lot of series that married that.
Mhm.
Now, this one I know that you're going to be happy about. I didn't even bother doing a thing because I know
we both know it, yeah. Okay, so Sentai has to, as we've been saying before in these previews, they're condensing a lot of their stuff. And Hakkenden is one that they've condensed into one. The other one they're doing this week is a very famous, or to some people, infamous series that it's the Clannad and Clannad After Story complete collection. Now, for those who are not in the know, Clannad is based on a visual novel by Key Visual Arts and Jun Maeda. And Jun Maeda is very well known for making tearjerkers.
Yeah.
And that's his thing. He likes tearjerkers with weird supernatural phenomena mixed in. And there are several anime based on his series or with assistance from his writing. He did a co-production with Aniplex, Angel Beats, which is a great show. And he did Air, which is one of the weirdest freaking shows I've ever seen. But the opening theme, Tori no Uta, is one of my favorite anime themes.
Beautiful series, though.
Oh, it's gorgeous. All of the shows are gorgeous. Whatever you think of the plot, they're gorgeous. And the music is gorgeous. I have not yet seen Kanan. I've not yet seen Charlotte, and there's a couple others. And I have the first series of Little Busters, but I haven't watched any of that yet. But Clannad is notable in that the first series can't make up its mind if it wants to be a full-blown harem or an anthology series. Because it's one linear plot but each major female gets a story arc in the plot. And in the second series, they continue this pattern for the first half of the series. But the second half of After Story goes in a direction anime almost never goes. And I loved it. I love After Story. I think it is one of the best shows that's out there. But I am well aware that you have to put up with the first series, which I like a lot. It's as a harem series goes, it's one of the best. But you have to have a tolerance for harem series to get through it. And the ending to After Story, I'm not going to give spoilers here. A lot of people thought it was a cop-out. I liked it, but I'm kind of a romantic at heart, and I like well, I'm not going to say what kind of ending.
I understand the way they did the ending.
Yeah.
Because this series is based off of a visual novel / dating sim.
Yeah.
And
if you
actually,
think of it as a video game brought to life, some of the tricks they pull make more sense. And also, both series come with OVAs that are listed as episodes of the series.
That's like if you went with this person.
There is one that's called the Kyo arc, and there is one that's called the man, I can't believe I'm forgetting that. But anyway, the Tomoyo, right? He's Tomoyo, she's Tomoyo, right? Yeah. That's kind of confusing because one of the main characters is his name, but, you know. But the basic gist of it is the guy is a delinquent who his father's kind of worthless, but his father went south when his mother died. Basically, he couldn't keep it up. So this guy's been drifting around aimlessly until he meets this girl who's the girl of his dreams, Nagisa. And the story basically adheres to the Nagisa arc for the most part. And After Story is the Nagisa arc that's unlocked when you get the good end with her. And the reason I like it is that it's a romance that goes past the hookup. It actually tells their story afterwards. It's just improperly paced, and they skip a lot that I would have liked to see. And they kind of fast forward a lot of the good stuff to get to the maudlin parts. But pacing issues aside, After Story is a great series. And so, like I said, if you've seen it, you know what we're talking about. If you haven't, I do recommend it, but with those little asterisks there.
If you want to see something that has a little bit more even pacing, in my opinion, but covers the story without the weird cop-out at the end, I would say the movie. To me, the movie actually was a straightforward on that arc, didn't go down the side roads, and ended without saying, oh, let's redo that section of the game, essentially, is the essential I got from the ending, which...
Three things about the movie, though. The movie came out, and then the series was immediately released on TV afterwards.
Very depressing movie, though.
The movie is depressing.
But so is After Story.
Well, yes, but is maudlin as After Story gets. I don't think there was any one point where I was as depressed as I was for about 15 minutes of the movie. So there's that. There's also the fact that the movie gets every bit as freewheeling and weird with shenanigans and anime high school antics in the first half as the series does. Yeah. So if that's your turnoff in the first place, the movie still has that. And then the last part is simply that the movie's not nearly as pretty. The production values, the movie is much more workmanlike. There's a lot of still frames. There's not near as much of an animation budget behind the movie, which is kind of weird. Usually it's the other way around.
But this came first. So that's probably why.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's definitely worth a look if you want to know what it's all about before you watch 49 episodes.
Now, admittedly, the ending will confuse the heck out of you if you watch the movie first.
Quite possibly.
Alright, so we're down to the next one, which we're finishing up our Revolutionary Girl Utena stuff. Did the movie get a separate release? I didn't see it on our viewings on the way through. I know that the 3 series got it.
I think the packaging is the same as before. Was the movie bundled with the third volume?
I think it was. I didn't see anything in the thing, but I could have been running by it. But now there's another set that's a little bit further along. As a matter of fact, why don't I just cover this in both?
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought there were 2 separate releases.
Because, so this one's the 3rd set for Utena. It covers the last arc of the, of her dealing with the student council and then her relationship with the princess. And in a way, when you're going through the series, you kind of feel glad that you're reaching the end. There's another one that comes out that just has it all packaged up in this nice little brick. Well, big brick.
Yeah.
That you could probably brain somebody with.
Yeah.
All 3 series plus the movie. To me, the movie is a great way to see how weird it can get.
Because I've actually only seen the movie.
It's strange. The series is nowhere near on that. And so, season 3 is a pretty good arc. I'm not going to bother reading the text blurb. For those of you who want it and have seen the first 2 sets and want to complete it, you'll want this. I doubt you're going to say, set 3 looks good, but heck with those other 2. I'm just going to get set 3.
You never know.
You never know. I mean, it's episodes 25 through 39. So, Nozomi is finishing that. I have the original releases. You got those original ones too. So, good releases.
Yeah.
Nozomi does a very good job at their
If memory serves, I got this set. Nozomi did Right Stuff did a great. It was like a one-day sale. They did like a one-day sale on it last year, and it was awesome, and I picked it up. And I think it was very shortly after that they announced the Blu-ray re-release.
Yeah.
That's the way it always goes. But anyway, speaking of re-releases and I don't know for certain this is a re-release, but the franchise is kind of, We have a new part of the Mobile Suit Gundam Wing
Actually, you just
franchise.
cover number 12 instead of number 11, because that has all of it.
Okay. We can do both, yeah. Okay, so the individual release this week is called Mobile Suit Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. And I'm kind of starting to feel like that at this point. So much Gundam.
It is an endless waltz.
But the other release coming out is the Mobile Suit Gundam Wing Collector's Ultra Edition.
I have that on the pre-order.
Yeah, I kind of need to get that, but I don't know. Hey Carp. So anyway, Endless Waltz is the OVA, which I think is 3 episodes, and the movie, which I think the movie is a retelling of the OVA. That was the impression I got. And this is the description here for Endless Waltz. After Colony 196, tranquility has spread through the Earth sphere, and the colonies are at peace. The Gundam pilots find themselves attempting to rebuild their lives in this new era. No longer having need of their weapons of war, they have sent their Gundams into the sun to be destroyed. But suddenly, Relena Darlian, who has become a high-ranking government official, is kidnapped by a colony with aspirations of total domination. The Gundam pilots and their allies find themselves called into action once again, because, of course, the Endless Waltz has resumed. And the Collector's Ultra Edition, and I've seen the pictures, this looks pretty fancy, and I kind of wish I could get it. It's apparently the entire Gundam Wing series, all 49 episodes, along with Endless Waltz. So it's the OVA and the movie, as well as the series. It's a really good collection to get into if you have not really gotten the show yet. Again, I have the first half of Gundam Wing. I probably ought to sell it off and...
for what you could sell that for, you might be able to get these
theoretically. Because a lot of times it becomes impossible to sell things. I'm still sitting on that freaking Haruhi set.
So you don't want a Haruhi set.
Oh, man, I paid so much for the new one. And then, just a total random aside, and hopefully this will be the last one on this one. I meant to say something on Clannad and I forgot.
Uh-oh.
Akio and Sanai Furukawa, Nagisa's parents, the best couple in any anime ever. And they are one of the best comedy teams in television ever. So even if you don't like anything else in the series, they're good for a laugh.
I tell you, one thing that writer likes is he loves mysterious,
Yeah.
fatal illnesses.
Oh yeah,
and
he's the John Green of anime.
It's
Or
kinda
not
weird.
John Green. Well, maybe John Green, but Nicholas Sparks is what I meant to say.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, now we get to another oldie but goodie by
Okay.
Viz. Pokemon Advanced Challenge Complete Collection, which has 40 episodes.
hmm
It really didn't say 1 through 40, it just said 40 episodes. So that could
Yeah.
just be 40 random
And when
episodes.
I looked up on ANN, it said something like 130
Oh, yeah.
episodes.
So my guess is that it's probably just selections from
It
the
may
series.
have been like the American release, like the last
Yeah.
one we covered. I mean, yeah.
So, as Shadow hovers over Ash,
Mhm.
Ash, May, and friends, as they continue their journey through the Hoenn
Hoenn.
region, as it's not just that of Mr. Chimney, Mount Chimney, sorry, but Team Magma and Team Aqua put plans into action with our heroes caught in the middle.
Mhm.
When not foiling evil schemes, Ash and May chase their personal goals, with Ash battling for 3 more gem badges and May winning her first 3 contest ribbons. The group also gains new Pokemon like Torkoal, butchered that I'm sure,
Torkoal.
and Bulbasaur. I know Bulbasaur, but could they be too much to handle? Well, yeah. You like Pokemon? Go for it. Probably is the American release, so I would check this out more. I'd wait till it comes out, take a good look at it, see what other people are saying about the release quality. From what I heard about the last one they released,
They weren't
the
pleased.
quality wasn't exactly great, so grain of salt here. But if you really love Pokemon, you really love the American release of Pokemon, here is your chance. And we got
Oh, another Gundam one.
and that's
I don't remember seeing anything about that.
movie 2 already, which is
Okay.
kind of weird.
So one of Bandai's super rare American releases, because they've largely stopped.
Oh, it's an import, so
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, there you
There
go.
you go.
So they're making the import available of Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt Bandit Flower. See that 3 times fast. Movie 2, apparently. Movie 2 on which, like the original series, or?
I don't. I guess it's this.
Hmm.
I wasn't very clear about this.
Yeah. Earth, 8 months after the end of the One-Year War, Captain Monica launches a secret mission, Operation Thunderbolt, and selects Io to pilot the Atlas Gundam. She leads the assault landing ship Spartan into a part of the ocean effectively controlled by the South Seas Alliance. Their objective is to secure or destroy the data of Psycho Zaku.
Woo!
Ooh, that's a fun name.
Nice name.
Which the Alliance now possesses.
All right.
That's as much as I know. I mean, the whole Gundam thing, one day I plan to be well versed in the series, but I'm not there yet. But if you got the money and you don't mind getting pricey imports of collector's edition sets, and you really love your Gundam, it's a good one to look for, yeah. Now this next one I'm very interested in.
This is actually
Yeah.
really cool. I'm not going to read all of it because it's a lot.
It's a lot.
But just essentially, it's called 100 Years of Olympic Films, the Criterion Collection. Well, that should tell you who's releasing it. And this is essentially a whole bunch of Olympic films, pretty much as far back as there have been Olympic films. And this is just
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
a really cool smattering of history, from terrorist attacks to just like epic rivalries. I believe, and just in general, stuff like the Berlin one where you had the Nazis
Yeah.
competing. These are really cool bits of history. I mean, the Olympics is where you get to see enemy countries going at it without trying to kill most of the time, without trying to kill each other.
Most of the time.
And that's pretty amazing. You can see things in the Olympics that you can never see anywhere else. And for that, that is well worth your money. And the next 50% off
a lot of
Criterion
money.
sale.
Yeah, even at 50% off, you probably, I think it's going to be like $120, $130 sticker price.
Well, that's how I got the Zatoichi set,
Right.
which was,
But this is
a
a lot,
Yeah.
and it's pretty, a lot of it's really rare stuff, too. And again, you know, if you have any interest in Olympic history, really if you have any interest in sports history, and if you're interested in the history of documentary filmmaking, really, anyone in any of those groups, this will be an essential get. It's going to be a pricey one, and I'm not sure how entertaining it'll be.
Well,
But it should be very educational.
in a documentary
Yeah.
type sense.
Oh, yeah. So interesting. Another collection this week is probably more up your alley.
Yeah, it looks like
This is from Severin Films, and it's called the Amicus Collection. It's a movie, a 3-disc set. Known as the studio that dripped blood, the British film company Amicus Productions, founded by American writer-producers Max J. Rosenberg and Milton Subotsky, built a legacy of horror anthologies and twisted thrillers that remains among the very best genre movies of the 70s. In this trio of Amicus classics featuring stars that include Peter Cushing, Herbert Lom, Britt Eklund, Patrick McGee, Stephanie Beacom, Calvin Lockhart, Michael Gambon, wow, and Charlotte Rampling, I must have missed that part before, you'll discover the studio's legendary portmanteau Asylum, their insane gothic shocker, and now the screaming starts. Great name for a horror film. And exclusive to this set, the infamous werewolf whodunit, The Beast Must Die.
Dun, dun,
As
dun.
well as a bonus disc of Amicus trailers, TV commercials, rare interviews, and more. All in this 4-disc box set. Like I said, from what I've heard of this, I'm not sure how much I'd enjoy these movies, but I'm fascinated by some of those actors. Herbert Lom, Michael Gambon, Charlotte Rampling. Not people I associate with 70s gory horror movies.
It's actually got, it's actually on sale at this point. $58, which
Right.
is not bad.
Yeah, for what you're getting, that's probably a good price. And I'm sure you'll have that on pre-order, right?
No, but I do have it on my wish list.
Okay.
Yeah, so this other one is Osiris Child, which is released by Image Entertainment. So, when a dangerous outbreak threatens to destroy everyone living on a newly colonized planet, Lieutenant Kane Somerville, played by Daniel McPherson, goes against orders to leave his station and rescue his young daughter, Tegan Croft. That's the name of the actress. Despite desperate to get her before it's too late, Kane enlists the help of escaped prisoner, played by Kellen Lutz, as they battle their way through the chaos of a planet on the verge of annihilation. With the odds stacked against them, saving his little girl may be humanity's last chance at survival.
Dun, 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 dun.
Alright, that about clinches it, really.
Yeah, that's all I had to say on that one.
Let's move on. I got your prop for this
That
one.
was one didn't really... okay, so, every now and then, Joe Blow posts stuff as being upcoming releases that we're kind of like, huh? And such was this release. They included a link to Amazon that brought up this exact physical release of the film
I
Split,
got it before it released.
which you've had this, 3 months now?
I've had it for a while.
This movie has been out for a while. I think we did a preview
Got it on
for it.
summer sale.
Actually, no, we didn't do a preview for this. I think it came out before we started doing previews. Okay, so, quick follow-up. We have no idea if the new release is this release or a new one. Amazon's link gave no indication of it being a bonus disc or anything. Split is an M. Night Shyamalan thriller horror film from the early part of the year.
That's good.
Featuring James McAvoy, Anya Taylor-Joy. It is very good. It is one of the few Shyamalan films that I genuinely thought was very good. However, much like the film, he has apparently decided to build into this one, and minor spoiler alert, there is a reference in this film to Unbreakable. A couple of references, I think.
It's in that universe.
They are going to cross over soon, and I'm kind of looking forward to that. But Unbreakable was a fascinating film that really, I liked it. I wanted to love it, but it was boring. And Split is not boring, but it was very slow moving. So Shyamalan, he can occasionally tell a really good story, but he's not a master at pacing.
It's a good comeback, though.
It was a good comeback. As much as people have liked to joke about him over the years,
it's not
this was
happening.
That was a nice return to form, if you will. And it was a brilliant performance by McAvoy.
Oh, yeah.
He's essentially playing 23 different roles, and he does a good job.
I was impressed by Split. It was. So the next one up is American Assassin. American Assassin follows CIA Black Ops recruit Mitch Rapp and Cold War veteran Stan Hurley as the pair is enlisted to stop a mysterious
operative, I guess. He wrote operative.
I didn't write anything. I copied and pasted this. They wrote this, intent on starting a world war. So, that's one of those, it's kind of there you have it. I mean, did you know much about this?
Well, I know it has Michael Keaton, and I have heard reports that he does a fair job. And it's apparently based on a series of books, and they apparently intend to make a series of movies. But other than that,
I wonder if the books have the
I might get to it one of these days. Huh?
I wonder if the books have the grammatical errors.
I don't know.
They call it a parrot too?
I don't know.
So why don't you combine these?
Yeah, we'll do that. We've had a couple of things this week where we're getting a part of a series and the complete collection. So one of this year's movies that got a lot of hype and then just kind of crickets was the newest film in the Minions franchise. Despicable Me 3. Illumination, who brought moviegoers Despicable Me, Despicable Me 2, and the biggest animated hit of 2015, Minions, continues the story of Gru, Lucy, their adorable daughters, Margot, Edith, and Agnes, and the Minions in Despicable Me 3. After he is fired from the Anti-Villain League for failing to take down Balthazar Brat, the latest bad guy to threaten humanity, Gru finds himself in the midst of a major identity crisis. But when a mysterious stranger shows up to inform Gru that he has a long-lost twin brother, a brother who desperately wishes to follow in his twin's despicable footsteps, one former supervillain will rediscover just how good it is to be bad. You know, I have to admit, I want to see this.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed the franchise, even though Minions gets a lot of
it's oversaturated. That's what it is.
Yeah, they were a lot more fun before they were everywhere.
Yeah.
But I will admit, the idea, that movie, the villain, Scarlet Overkill, that was a great name for a villain. I admit, they've had their moments, and the whole idea of in the second movie of a Mexican restaurant called Salsa y Salsa. I enjoyed that, but I'll get to this one eventually. And another thing that they've got is Illumination presents a 3-movie collection. I don't know why they didn't include Minions.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's where I figure it's weak. It's a weak release because it's just the 3 Despicable Me movies. It doesn't have that many. I think it has a couple of the shorts, but not all of them.
Yeah, and all of these come with shorts. And actually, the third one comes with a new mini movie. Most of them are pretty forgettable, but some of them were.
Actually, the original ones, the original Minion shorts were hilarious. The one with the banana and all this.
Banana!
it was. I just.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm getting a little bit of Despicable Me burnout, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, I feel like they could have done a better 3-movie one.
Yeah.
They have a release with all of the short films, all 3 of the existing movies, not this one, and all they had to do is do that release and add the 3rd movie with those shorts.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
But now we go on to another disappointing thing. Shot Factory is bringing me another thing in the Howard Lovecraft saga. Apparently, Howard Lovecraft and the Frozen Kingdom. After visiting his father in Arkham Sanitarium, young Howard Lovecraft ignores his father's ominous warnings and uses the legendary Necronomicon to open a portal to a strange frozen world filled with horrifying creatures and grave danger. Alone and scared, Howard befriends a hideous creature he names Spot, who becomes his companion throughout their treacherous journey across the Frozen Kingdom. Again, I don't know. I feel like there's this movement to just go, let's take the Universal monsters, even though this is by Shell Factory, but let's take all of this stuff and let's just kind of cutesify it.
You know, for kids.
I mean, they have this thing like the Bratz thing, but monsters, like Monster High.
Oh,
And then-
Monster High is huge right now.
And then, of course, you've got like, I don't know. I don't know. I want to move on. I get away from it.
Okay. And I guess at this point, we can probably do just a quick blurb for each and most of these. Okay, first, here come the Men in Black. Once more. We have a Men in Black collection,
I actually like
which
the
is
look
all
of it.
3 movies. I've actually not seen the 3rd one, but I need to one of
Yeah.
these days. Men in Black is a fun series. It's not deep. It's not earth-shattering. It really helped solidify Will Smith as a star back in the day. It was when he was still straddling the line between rapper and actor, and Men in Black was one of the biggest songs of '97, I think it was. And then, of course, Tommy Lee Jones was a great foil for him.
Oh, yeah.
It's a fun series. I will consider this because I'm not positive I have any of them. I do need to get the movies, and getting them all at one would be a good way to do it. And for anyone else who doesn't have it, this is going to be an essential get, this collection.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, they're great movies. Next one, Guardians. See our previous one that we did with this. It was about a couple months back, I think around August. More than a couple months now. But Shot Factory is releasing Guardians. This one was kind of interesting. It's about Russian superheroes. IMDb has it as kind of bleh. And it's sort of this, I guess, Russian Avengers type dealio. I haven't really seen it. It was supposed to release in August and in December, so I guess we had the August release, and now we have the December release. So I'd rather just move on, and we'll catch it on the next release.
And a wonderful December release. And are you sure you didn't type any of this?
I did not. I actually...
Okay. Now this looks
Okay,
like...
I typed this one. I don't know.
Okay.
Because I actually know this movie very well.
Okay, so this is a Shout Factory release as well, and from all indications, it looks like it's a really good release.
Oh, all of
this
theirs in this vein are very good.
This is a movie that I've never seen, but so you can talk more about it.
Oh, yeah.
But it's called Silent Night, Deadly Night. It's supposedly one of the classic films of back in the day.
You keep
A
going.
child's father was killed by a man in a Santa suit. Now he believes that Santa's true purpose is murder.
Actually, that's essentially the whole of it.
Yeah.
It is one of the first true slasher films. This is one of the ones. This one and Black Christmas are the ones that led to our big ones like Jason, like Michael Myers. These would not be who they were without these movies. It really is and that description is, in a nutshell, what it is. And there goes the mouse. Cattails, I tell you. That's essentially the whole of it. It's I love Shout Factory's releases. Their Scream Factory line. I have a T-shirt.
They got lots of bonus goodies on this one. Yeah.
And the restoration they do on these things, their entire job is to take these and restore them. I really would love to get this, but I have them already in out-of-print ones. I have all the movies in the 2 out-of-print sets. The one that has the first 2 and the one that has the 3 through 5. And I have the remake. So, and you're going to be seeing those and review this coming month. And with that...
I'm sure you'll want to see this one from what I read.
Better watch out. This has been released by Wellgo USA. I'm getting acquainted with Wellgo USA, unfortunately. And this holiday season, you may be home, but you're not alone. In this fresh and gleefully twisted spin on home invasion horror, babysitter Ashley, played by Olivia DeJonge, must defend her young charges, played by Levi Miller and Ed Oxenbould. When intruders break into the house one snowy night, or so she thinks. So, it's a horror version of Home Alone.
Exactly. Actually, the description I read was something like Home Alone meets, what was it? It was
Hellraiser?
No, oh man, I can't remember what, but it was an interesting description. And one thing that they don't really say in the promotional thing, but I'm intrigued. I guess these are the kids' parents, but there's a couple in the cast, credited in the cast, that's played by Patrick Warburton and Virginia Madsen.
That sounds
so
good.
I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Doesn't mean it'll be good, though, unfortunately.
No, it doesn't. No, both of them have been in awful stuff in the past, but they've both been in good stuff, too. So I'm intrigued, and this is one that I'm curious about, but I'm not going to make it a priority.
I've actually seen the next entry.
Yeah, this one I will have to make a priority, but I'll have to see the first one first.
Not for the price they've offered it for.
Yes. I think last pickup video, you did the movie from the first...
Fire Walk with Me.
So, Twin Peaks, a limited event series, is getting its release this coming week. You just simply wrote a return to the twisted land of Twin Peaks.
Well, that's exactly what it is. It's just a continuation.
Exactly.
It picks up right after Fire Walk with Me.
And you said you have seen this?
I have seen it.
So this is weird. He has seen the first series and the new series.
But not the movie.
And I've seen the movie, but not the series. It makes no sense. And if you've seen the movie and not the series, it makes no sense.
Believe it or not, this series actually goes further to left field than the original series.
Yeah, well, I believe it. I really do want to see this. I had no idea some of the people who were in the cast. I didn't realize Naomi Watts was in it.
Well, Lynch has gotten some loyalty from a lot of people, and because of that,
Naomi Watts, he put her on the map here. Even before The Ring.
It really is before. It really is his connections to the world that gives him the power he has over these series.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of power in this one, and it shows.
But anyway, so there's that. That is definitely on my wish list. I really do need to get both Twin Peaks series. I really need to watch them. I have seen most of Lynch's, well, I can't say most, but quite a few of Lynch's movies. And some of them are great. Some of them are weird. A few of them are both.
Most of them have weirdness in them.
Yes. But at any rate, I'll let you do an old favorite.
Actually, in preparation for the new one, which I have seen trailers for, unfortunately, Jumanji is getting a 4K release from Sony Pictures.
Yes.
For those of you who like the Robin Williams classic, to me, it was okay. A lot of people do really love this film. I thought it was a decent film. I didn't think it was anything spectacular. But, it's about this guy who gets trapped in a board game, and these kids play this game, and they have to play it to the end. And if they don't play it to the end, bad things happen. But bad things happen if you play the game. So, mixed bag.
So, this is a trope that's frequently explored in anime, like, I guess, like SAO and Dot Hack, that kind of thing, right? And you see it less often with board games. So, it's not surprising that the reboot that they're doing is video game based. And I've seen the preview, and it looks like it could be fun, but it looks like it could be awful. It just depends on how it goes. The old one is a classic. I liked it a lot back in the day. I have not seen it probably in 20 years, but one day I'll get back to it. I don't see the need for an ultra high def release, though.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Well, finish us off.
Okay. And the last one is called The Crucifixion. But it's not what you would think it would be. Inspired by true events, this horror tale from the creators of Annabelle and The Conjuring reveals a journalist's surreal, supernatural investigation into a nun's shocking death. American reporter Nicole travels to investigate the possible murder of Sister Marinescu, sadistically crucified by a priest to vanquish a demon. As Nicole uncovers the weird tales behind this horrific event, disturbing events reveal that the demon is still lurking nearby, seeking a new human host.
Dun, dun,
Dun, dun. Exactly.
I need to get that
And-
sound effect on like buzzer for this whole
Yes. Now, and I have to admit, this does not interest me.
What?
I don't know. It's a Lionsgate release, by the way.
Oh, well, go figure, huh?
Do you, not to say that that's a knock against Lionsgate, but anyway, do you have any thoughts on that one, or?
No thoughts. It's another one of those freak out freak out the religious people's movies.
Yeah.
Much like Exorcist, I would guess. So, enjoy it or don't enjoy it. But that's it for this particular run, and we will see you on the next one. But of course, be sure to like these videos. I really do want y'all's feedback. So if we've missed some, and we do miss them, and because we don't have time, neither one of us really has the time to go further into investigation. So sometimes we miss a couple. So let us know what we miss, and of course, let us know your opinions of some of these films. And we will see you on the next one.